Okay. So let me hit my record button as well. All right. Welcome, CS13, to your demo day. This is the User Interface Project Week demo with the architectural website. Our first volunteer is going to be Brock. Brock has the stage right now. I'm going to go ahead and start the timer. Ready, set, go.
All right. Hi, everybody. This is my project. So the first thing is that I made the homepage like I thought it should be. I added a few little transitions onto the image so that as you scroll down, they go from black and white into color. So that was my scroll animation stretch goal. This is just the full page. I'll scroll through it as slowly as I can. I don't know. On the menu, I had a lot of fun. I spent a lot of time working on getting this to animate, so I thought that was really fun to do. It's smooth. It smoothly jumps out. There's a little bit of an ease on the animation. All right, and that's the homepage and the navigation. Let's go to services. So services page was just very similar to the tab stuff that we'd done before. So I really enjoyed being able to do that kind of from scratch. That was fun. I added a bit of an animation so that every time you click, it fades the tab in and out, which I really enjoyed doing. Yeah, and that's the services page. I can go back through and show them on mobile in just a second. We'll do contact first. A contact page was fun to do just because of these. I didn't know how to make custom radio buttons, and so I had to go, and so that took me a long time to research how to go through and put a div over the top of a radio button and have that style to look like one. And so that took me a really long time to do, but it was really fun, and I did it. So there's the custom radio buttons like how they were in the template. And so here's the contact page. Yeah. The only thing that I didn't do on here that it had in the picture was that this arrow is an arrow going up and down, and I didn't want to do the same thing that I did for this on this. Again, I was done, so I decided not to do that.
I don't think people understand how hard it is to make custom radio buttons.
No,
like
it's
those of you listening, go try it. It's a pain. It's a pain in the butt. Brock, your time is up.
Oh,
awesome job. I'm very impressed with that. Like,
wait, can I show one thing, just 2 seconds?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, last thing, just my my projects page. I implemented Vue.js. So if you open it up, you can actually search through these, and so all of the content. So you can search through like the greatest ever stuff, superlative, and then if you click on them, there's a modal that you can open up.
Dude,
so yeah.
Yeah. So pro tip for the next presenters, if you have something crazy like this hidden, show it first.
Okay, sorry.
Because we all know what we worked on throughout the week. So this is super unique, and I don't want you to rush through it. So awesome job, Brock. That's so good, dude. How did you like Vue.js? Was it pretty fun?
It was just so easy to learn after having already known what components are and things like that. Yeah. It just felt like everything that we'd learned just made it possible to learn this. So
just keep telling me that good stuff. That's great. All right. Thanks, Brock. Joseph. Awesome job, Brock. Joseph, you are up. Let's see. I have Joseph B. Let's see. Joseph, I don't see you in. I don't see a Joseph B in the Zoom. Is your name not the same in your Zoom name? Let's see here. Jay Bradley. Okay. There we go. Okay, make sure you guys tell me that because I'm flying blind sometimes. Okay, Joseph.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, you are up. Let me go ahead and share your screen again. Okay, the time is yours.
All right, so forewarned is forearmed. I am but a cube to Brock's tesseract, but he's in my group, and so he's super talented, and I love seeing what he does. So with this project, I wanted to, I'm pretty new to all this dev work. So I wanted to try to stay as kind of clean to the templates that we were given. But here's my homepage. Have the nav bar fixed, have a 1080 width here, with a nice little 3-pixel border around everything. I appreciated kind of working on these little features here and adding the nuance of the spacing, line spacing between the letters. I thought that was pretty cool. And so there we go. This is the bottom, obviously functioning form. Then I've got this little drop down. I didn't actually go ahead and animate the hamburger. I just did a little kind of form pointer when you hover and click it. I restyled these buttons a little bit, and I also set this such that the drop down covers the entire website. Same thing with the services page, fixed bar at the top. I'm at 1:26, so I'm going to go through this pretty quickly here. These buttons copped a lot of the code from the tab assignment that we had, but I wanted to do like a little halo so you could make sure that you knew where you were. And then I'll go back to home and knock out the mobile real quick. I think it should be right about here. And there is the mobile view. Pretty spot on there. And that's about it. The hardest part, I thought, I got pretty far into the project and I had something big break. And it ended up destroying the majority of my project, and I had to go kind of line by line and debug it. But I got to know the technology a lot better by going through it. So very, very cool.
I love that, because I'm sure a lot of you had that experience and you thought you were alone. So thank you for sharing that, because all of our projects inevitably blow up in some way, shape, or form. So I appreciate that. Okay. What we've got next is...
Can I just say something real quick, Josh?
Clint.
Can you hear me?
Is that you, Nate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
go. So I just wanted to say I've been doing this project along with you guys this week, because Josh challenged me to do some coding, and mine has broken 4 or 5 times. And let me tell you, they were I had one that was a parentheses that I missed for about 2.5 hours the other night. So you are not alone, and even those of us who have been doing this for a little while have the same problems. So do not ever feel like you can't do something because you made a little mistake. We all do it. We are all human. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. I think a lot of you could be seeing just these two alone and be like, oh my gosh. But what Nate's saying is absolutely true. And thanks for saying that. Clint, you are up. I'm going to unmute you. If Zoom lets me. Actually, Clint, I'm going to play that video. I forgot you sent it over to me. So let me get that on my computer. So Clint said he's got some crazy kids and he wanted to get a video over to me instead. So let me share that with you. Okay. And there we go. Okay, here it is.
Hello, CS13. This is my website, so let's get into it. All right, so I was able to put in a couple extra features that I wanted to show. The first one is this carousel, and I just go through the other images that are already in the file. And we have the nav bar, and with the nav bar I did a small animation with GreenSock to change the opacity. And I used another animation tool for scroll called AOS, and with the scroll, these buttons and these divs spin and move. I was able to host it with GitHub page, and we have our fearless leader up here as the favicon. Okay, so I want to skip over the services page and just talk about the contact page. When I click this, there's going to be this loading image that has just animation that I use GreenSock to build, and it shows a few lines just coming together, and then it disappears with a set timeout. This was a lot of fun. I used CodePen to put it all together. It was easier to manage that way. Here's the contact page, and this is built as the same as services. We have the tab functionality up here with the 2 divs that appear upon each click. This is a contact form, and what I learned from one article I read is to make a contact form personable, and then also have another call to action when they click submit. I liked that a lot. I also like this feature over here. Here with We're Hiring, if you click on one of these, an email will pop up with the right to address and the right subject title. So thanks for listening. This is my website.
All right, that was legit 2 minutes. Thanks for that. That was awesome. One thing that I totally goofed on was that we should be giving each other high fives and emojis inside of channel right now. This is a celebration of our projects. So for the last 3 people, give up some emojis right there in channel. I want you guys to see each other's work and give each other some high fives. So Brock, Joseph, and Clint, man, really, really strong start. Totally impressed with the work I'm seeing here, and just awesome. So give up some emojis. There we go. I'm like, it's a little too quiet in here for a party like this. So there's the emojis I wanted to see. Okay, next up we've got Lauren. Lauren, I'm going to unmute you, and I'm going to stop sharing so you can take over the screen. So go ahead and share your screen, Lauren, and I'll find you and unmute you. Okay,
All right.
Lauren.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome.
Wait until I see your screen. Okay, I see it. Let me give you your 2-minute timer. Ready, steady, go.
All right. So I like to add animations and stuff like that. So that's been my most fun thing. It looks all normal. And then instead of having the list, I did a carousel. So go through the recent projects instead. And I've made it all tablet friendly as well. So it'll go through. The only thing I didn't do is when it got to mobile, it would just go back to normal. Next, I have the navigation where it goes, and I've got to play with green sock. I've been having fun with that. It also will bounce away when it's done and come back. And then this is my services page. And so it looks all normal until you click a tab, and then it does little fun animation as well. And then lastly, I have the contacts page. And so what I have done is I have a submit button, and whenever you click it, it tells you to like fill in the stuff. And so it won't let you actually like submit it until you have filled everything. And then once it does, it says thank you. I think that is all I have done. And so I've just made it where it's like tablet friendly as well, so you can shrink it all the way and it looks nice and neat. I guess the most fun I had was with green sock. Oh, and then this little fun thing I have is with the animation, it does this. So I think it's kind of neat to like look like it's opening up. But yeah, so they're all like tablet and mobile friendly throughout. And then I've just try to add as many animations that I thought were fun and neat as possible. So I actually went a lot faster than I thought I was going to.
I told you. I told you. This is awesome though, Lauren. My goodness. So what was the hardest part?
Well, this carousel was a pain because I wanted the background color, and so I had to like do negative margins, and like I had to use like overflow hidden so the background would actually be good. And then plus green sock and me sometimes don't like each other. I'm starting to get used to it, but like with this and service page, they both will break. Oh, and then one quick thing with the services page is I noticed if I clicked it again, it would break the green sock. But now, like if you click it, it won't like do it until you click a different one.
Awesome. Controlling your flow. Perfect. Man, I am totally impressed. That's awesome. The animation, it just looks super professional, super clean. Very well done. Everybody give it up for Lauren. That was so good. Awesome job. Okay, next up, we have Mike G.
Josh, you skipped Michael A.
Oh,
I just
shoot.
wanted you to, I just wanted you to know, so we go back and make sure that
Michael A. There's 3 Michaels, and I should have asked for the full names. That's my bad. My brain skipped. So Mike, how could I forget Michael A., who always gives me the good trolling questions during class. So go ahead. I'm going to unmute you. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Thanks for calling me out there. Michael Agard. Okay, you are unmuted.
All right.
Go ahead and stop sharing, Lauren. I know it's always a little weird because you don't do this too often.
Just a test. You can hear me, right, Josh?
Yep, I can hear you.
Awesome.
Lauren's almost got, I can see she's fighting the controls to, or is that your screen that we're looking at?
No, that's not mine. Zoom's just a pain. The interface hides itself.
I
really
know.
well.
Trust me, I know. Don't worry. Here's what I'll do. I'll pause the video until we figure this out. Okay, now there's no stress, Lauren. You can figure it out nice and easy. I can hear you.
Cool.
Okay, let me we had a technical difficulty. We're back to Mike Garrity. Mike, you're going to take over here. Let me start your timer. Ready, steady, go.
All right, so I'll start with the desktop, and then I'll move on to the mobile. So with the nav, I got that slight fade-in animation using GreenSock. And then for the nav link for the page that you're currently on, I just gave it a class of active to give it that color. And then the other links just have a hover effect with that color. Then moving on to the main content, I just use Flexbox to get everything aligned properly. And then I also used a animation library called Scroll Reveal. So as you scroll down, these elements will appear on the page. It's basically just a JavaScript library that allows you to, allows elements to come into the page once it's in the viewport. And yeah, I mean, then we got the footer. That's pretty much it for the home page. Moving on to the services. We got this tabs component here. It's got all the functionality with JavaScript. Once again, using Flexbox for all the alignment. And then moving on to the contact page, we got the contact form here. The addresses, pretty straightforward. And then going on to the mobile. So mobile is basically the same thing. You're just using Flexbox and media queries to make sure everything aligns and stacks properly. So that's how it looks for the mobile on the home page. Moving on to the services. You just want to get those tabs to align in a column. And then moving on to the contact page.
Okay, time is up. So finish up the contact page. This looks awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, and it's the same thing. So contact pages, make sure everything stacks correctly. And yeah, that's my project.
I really like that. That's solid stuff. I love that you incorporated a new library. Would you say that was the hardest thing, or was it something else?
It was actually pretty simple to implement that scroll reveal. The hardest thing, I would say, honestly, like maybe doing the menu. For some reason, just making sure getting the JavaScript figured out for the menu was maybe the hardest part. It wasn't too difficult, but if I had to choose something, I would just say the menu for that.
Awesome. Thanks for that.
Yep.
Guys, give it up for Mike. That was awesome. I love those animations. I love subtle stuff. It's really cool. Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Up next on the list is Marshall. Marshall, you are up next. So Marshall, you have two accounts on here. Hopefully I'm unmuting the correct one. You are unmuted.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Okay, let's see, sure. You see my thing now?
Yeah, see it. Perfect.
All right. So here's my home page. Here's the mobile version of my home page. I made an animation here, so when I click this, comes in like that. Click it again, it goes out. So I did that with CSS. And then these two pages are the same as what we were supposed to do. I made a couple different pages where I messed around. So I made a projects page, and this right here has a carousel. I used some GreenSock to have things kind of fade in and out. and so I can loop all the way around. And here, I made a nice little effect right here where it kind of looks like it's going over there with that image. Oh wait, same one. Let's go to employees. So I made a generator that would generate a whole bunch of objects and then use that input to generate a whole bunch of employees information. And then they would come in here. And then I made a button where you could kind of fire random employees. So I'd have these like little X's come over their face. I also made it so that the X wouldn't come over the same button twice. So reload that, and then if I reload the page here, and then generate employees, if I go inspect, and then console here, and if I just start firing random employees, eventually the number I have will, so right here what happened is the number I picked, the random number, was going to be the same as one of these ones with the X. And then so I made some logic going, I'm going to find all the ones that don't currently have this class in it. I'm going to make a new random number based upon the length of this. So I have a random number right here between 0 and 5. And the random number is 4. So you see the element right there has that. So then that item out of that new random list will get it. So that way, when I generate the random employees, if I click this exactly 12 times, then I'll be done with it, so I don't have to click it like 30 times.
Marshall, time is up. That is awesome.
And then there's a mobile version, and then
I don't think I've ever seen anybody hire and fire employees on a page. That was pretty awesome, and the way that you went around it, I can tell you were having fun with it. I think that's the key.
I was having a blast. I think if I did it again, I could do it better and add more stuff and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, but
I did the other pages, and it's like
Marshall, guys, give it up for Marshall. That was awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, I could explain it. It's just 2 minutes. It's like, what can I do?
Yeah, 2 minutes is really hard, but you did an awesome job showcasing how much work you put into that and how much fun you had. That's a cool portfolio piece that you can hold on to and make even better. So well done, sir. Awesome.
I love the logic there. That's really cool.
All right, we have Tom. Tom is up next, Tom T. So let's get Tom up here. Tom Tarpey, unless I'm saying that totally wrong. I'll unmute you and let me correct my pronunciation problems. It's not letting me unmute. Or maybe it is, then it's muting again. Please Zoom.
Sorry about that. This is just with
the have I been saying your name wrong this whole time?
No, perfectly, mate. Absolutely brilliant. People do get it completely wrong. I end up with like Tapley, Tapple. It's just mad.
Tarpey? Wait, how do you say it?
That's literally it.
Tarpey. Okay. All right, Mr. Tarpey. You have 2 minutes. Ready? Go.
Okay. Well, I kind of didn't get all the stretch done. So a quick look. So I didn't do the view stuff and the single page app and stuff. I did manage to get all the MVP done, and also quite a few of the stretch different. It's mostly the page stuff, so a lot of mine's very plain, if you know what I mean. So I kind of tried to stay with the actual stuff. So if I quickly go over the home page, it's pretty much standard. Nothing too mad there. I did get around to a bit of animation, which was just to fade into this. So if we then go on the about page, we've got a slider on that. And there's the Lambda school, and of course we've got the great idea. We need that. And it's just pretty much looping around like normal. This is actually a meeting I did in, I forgot where that was actually. I think that was Turkey somewhere. I've done these as little cards as well, just to kind of get it in. So let's quickly, if I've got time, move on to services. Pretty standard, same as everyone else, I think. Used a lot of the code what I did for the other stuff anyway for this. Kept the JavaScript fairly straightforward. What I've done is the slider is actually on every page apart from the home page, because the home page got too much of a large jumbotron. If I can quickly get, come on. Projects is basically services page, Redux. Just literally revamped the same thing with just slightly different content. That's pretty much usually your services and your projects are pretty much the same anyway. And then contact is fairly straightforward and standard. I just kept it fairly basic. I've actually a couple of times that's been white, and then I've had that many little annoyances with like Visual Studio Code decided to add divs in places when I didn't notice. So I've spent hours of finding those. If I move quickly on to the
time's up. So finish. You're good.
I was going to say, yeah, mobile view, pretty much everything's standard. I tried to keep it within range, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, this is awesome, man. And
I've got it uploaded to my domain as well.
Oh, nice. You can post that link and people can take a look at it if you want.
Yeah.
Give it up for Tom, you guys. That is awesome. You can't be so nonchalant about how awesome that is. You're like, yeah, I kind of did this thing and it was crazy hard. I mean, that's awesome. I want everybody to understand that takes a lot of effort to get all those features that he was talking in there. And he said it like it was no big deal. So, and the Photoshop skills. I mean, come on. Got the great idea website. That was awesome. Everybody give it up for Tom. Awesome. Thank you, Tom. All right. Caleb K. Caleb Kirkwood. I'm going to unmute you and hopefully it works.
Hello.
There it is.
Awesome.
Okay, your 2 minutes starts now.
All right, so we got the home page, standard stuff, and then we've got the, let's see here. Oh, mobile view, pretty much same as everyone else, and we've also got the tablet view, which doesn't change much from the desktop view, except for the footer a little bit. Then we have the services page. Got the tablet view, which is kind of the same as the mobile, and desktop view. So we've got that. And then we've got the contact page, which is pretty standard, same as everyone else. We've got the tablet view, which changes it a little bit. And then mobile view. Let's see here. And then we've got, oh yeah, animation on the menu also. Slides in and out. So, and then we've got the About Us page, which I did not do a mobile or, oh crap, almost muted myself. Which I did not do the tablet or mobile view for the About Us page, but we've got a little animation, so it gives like a slight little bio as you hover over the people. Then you click on them, brings up more information on them, and then implement a carousel that changes the people. And I could have added 12 different people, but I just copy and pasted. So, and that's basically everything.
Awesome. My goodness. I love that About Us page. It's super clean. Can you go back to your homepage real? Well, you've already got it, but I feel like you went super pixel perfect, didn't you? Like you spent some time on it.
It's pixel close. Yep.
I mean, I can tell that one was straight on. Man, give it up. That About Us page was awesome, but I don't want to discount the clear work. I could see the work that you put into that layout. So I appreciate that. My friend and I are very trained, and I could see exactly what you did there. So that was awesome, Caleb. Give it up, everybody. Okay. Where is my dang? Oh, please don't click that. There we go. Man, Zoom is all over the place today. All right. We have got Karen, you're next. Kozlowski. I love that last name. My wife's maiden name was Kowalski. Got that Polish goodness there. Okay, let me unmute you. Okay, you are unmuted. Can you share your screen?
Yep. And I love you for being able to pronounce it.
I know, not that many people can.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can,
2
Is it
minutes.
visible?
Ready, steady. It's yours.
Okay, cool. So let me move this. That's annoying. So I've got the homepage here. Let me refresh it because I did some little animation stuff on the top when you go in. Then when you scroll, it goes back to the starting place. You can't really see it that much. I wanted to do a little more there, but I didn't have time. And then this is basically the normal design. And then I did the mobile, and same thing here. Just basic design here. Services page. I've got the tab functionality. Stuff all works here. And then for the desktop version here, I did it on 1000, so it's looking nice. And then the contact page got, the design.
You laugh, but that's not easy to do. So that's awesome.
And then here's this. And then the thing that was probably the most fun for me was just this little subtle animation. When you scroll over it, then it'll go back to start when you scroll back off. So that was probably the favorite thing that I did. And it twists there, but you don't get to see the twist in, because that's another thing I wanted to fix, because I basically make these two, I make this thing and this thing disappear and it spawns a new one here instead of moving it. So I was tinkering with that for a little bit, but didn't get to quite finish it off. And that's
awesome. That is time. Perfect. Give it up for Kieran. That was awesome. The animations were like everywhere you went. So that was super cool. I just want to point out, even though he totally just, contact form. No way. That contact form is super hard because those inputs are super annoying. So don't discount that. That was super hard to do. I respect that as a front-end developer going, yes, that was awesome. So give it up, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Awesome. Okay, Brian R. So Brian Ruff. Let me unmute you.
Hello.
Okay, we can hear you.
Okay.
Share your screen, and I'll tell you when your timer starts. Okay, ready, go.
Okay, hey, here's my project. So we're just on the home page here, and we'll just go down through it. Everything's, I think this is a 880 pixel layout, since we had been using that with a few of the great idea pages. There's a small animation here with the menu. It basically fills up this box, so just 500 pixels, and a little CSS transitioning happening here. But if we go to services, we just have the data targets here going to work. And I got several arrays of stuff that I'm using like the same index on to get this to change. Let's see, and then contact, here's the contact form. And then let's go to mobile. So here's mobile. Basically, mobile basically everything's 100% width, that's basically mobile. And then it is slightly different, I guess. It fills the whole page up here. So home, and then, it's the same thing. It's just everything's more like a block level element than it is a flex element, although they are still flex. It is 100% width, just more mimics block.
Nice. I love that little lesson you just gave. That's perfect. What was the hardest thing for you?
I spent a little while working on this thing right here. I tried to get it to go where it would go up, but that's as good as I could get it. So I saw a few people that got that, so I might look at their code a little bit and see what they did. But
Yeah.
the hardest.
Nice.
But-
So, I mean, you would think that the component was the hardest, but you just killed that. That's awesome. Great job. I love the thought process you gave us on the inside of that. That's awesome. Give it up for Brian, guys. That was super good. Appreciate your thoughts. All right. Thanks, Brian. Okay. We've got Luisan. Are you ready? We'll see. Luisan had some computer issues he was worried about. So unmuting, and let's see if we can get maybe. There we go. Okay. You're on the mic.
All right. Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yep. We can hear you, and you can take over the screen.
Awesome. All right. 1 second. All right.
All right.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep. Your timer is going.
All right. So, I mean, yeah, these are the boring parts. It slides down, so little green sock, and they slide in, hover on the pages. Nothing here is that interesting. It's just the MVP. But let me show you interesting parts. Let's go most interesting first. This was probably the hardest. I built a carousel without any bootstrap because it wasn't allowed. Oh, the JS is, for some reason it's load. Oh, wait a second. Maybe it's just finished. It's loading. But in the meantime, I'm sorry, guys. My JavaScript is not loading. Nothing's working. Let me see. There we go. Yeah, you can change the pictures here and change the text. There's some parallax scrolling here going on. So these look kind of cool. These will change. Let me see if I can get the carousel to work now. Oh, there we go. And it should go on its own. Yeah, it does. It goes on its own until you click on either side, and then it stops forever. You have complete control. And then let's see, services. This is a cool thing I did with the buttons. I'm not a great animator. I don't have a great taste, but I just try to play it around and see if it works. These all work. And then, yeah, that's all the
Awesome. I think it took forever to load because those images are probably massive. So that's what's happening is
yeah, I tried to resize them and everything, but that took a little bit of time.
Yeah, it does. And we didn't talk about that. So I can see that issue. But man, I love what you said though about the animation. You said, I'm not a good animator, but I love it. That's the first step of being a good animator is just having some passion around it. So I appreciate you said that because I think a lot of other people think, oh, I'm not good at animation. But man, the first step to being good is being kind of crappy, right? And so and this is not crappy. This is awesome.
Thanks.
My first animations were awful. This is really cool. So for you to say, oh, you're not good, I'm thinking, yeah, this is really good, man. I love that fade and I love that carousel. So well done. Give it up for Luisan. That's awesome. I'm totally impressed. Give it up, guys, and channel. Give some emojis out there. Let's move on to Michael T. Mr. Trevino.
Hey guys, can you guys hear me?
Can hear you now, yes.
Put this stuff here real quick. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so standard stuff, everything's the same as everyone else. I didn't do too much, but I'm extremely proud of what I did because I went from not being able to download anything, having my girlfriend do everything for me, to making this website. And it is just awesome. I did the hover. It does this little silly thing. Not professional, but it's fun. And then go to services. I did this right here, just the same thing. And that's all I really did was just those things right there. But I was just so ecstatic that I was able to accomplish this that I just wanted to show it off. And
yeah, dude.
awesome.
Did you get mobile done?
Oh, yes, I did.
Because that is not something you should just skip over. I mean, that was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Nice. So I love that you just said, I couldn't even do anything before Lambda School, and you just built a legit website. Talk about that process a little bit.
Well, the HTML and CSS was fairly easy. I had like everything done within like the first day and a half. What took longest was just this little image right here, this little hamburger image. Every time I would load the page, there's a little animation, but this would come out first. So it looked like this, and I just couldn't reverse it to look like this. And so I kind of, I just couldn't do it. So what I ended up doing was I wrote the JavaScript, and I'm terrible at JavaScript. I just wrote like the code for the nav page right here, and it was breaking the service page. So I just made another JS file, and I just put the JavaScript there. I had to adapt. I was forced to keep the pressure, and that's how I did it. I
actually think that's pretty genius, and you'll find that when you get into React and other things, that's pretty much how they do it. Just they use imports, so you're ahead of the curve there.
It just wasn't, and like in the index itself, like the code was just breaking. It was doing all this funky stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put the code for the nav here, and I'll put the code for the service page on the other one, and it worked. I was like, okay, cool. I can move on. Let's go. Like, I just wanted to get it working.
Yeah, the caveman mentality. But this does not look like a caveman. This is awesome. And I really appreciate that you had fun, even though you said it's not professional. I'm like, yeah, but the cool thing is those things make you a professional. So awesome job, Michael. Very well done. Everybody give it up for Michael. This is awesome. I love that backstory. I appreciate the backstory because, Lambda School is for everybody that doesn't come from any background. And those of you that came with a heavy background, I think all of you can attest that you're all gaining something. So I appreciate that, Michael.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Moving on to our final few people here. We've got Kevin Suter. You are unmuted.
Let me share real quick. You guys see it?
Yep.
In here?
Yeah, I'll start your timer now.
Hey everybody. I hope everybody's week went good. Mine went all right. There were some things that slowed me down this week, but ultimately I got all of the MVP features done. Other than that, I didn't get a whole lot done, but I got the basic functionality of the page. Scroll down, pretty similar to everybody else's. Go to the services page. Got the tab selector. This and the menu were the hardest things for me to get done for sure, especially this menu. I was able to get the mobile page for the home. But yeah, other than that, not much done with it. Just a slow week for me, ultimately. So
yeah, slow week, but look what you did.
Yeah.
I think you guys are discounting yourself when this is amazing from where you came from, right? Like, what was your background in coding?
Not a whole lot, really. Just tutorials, basically.
Yeah. So for you to be able to pull this out in 4 days, not even a full week, come on, man, wake up to what you did. This is awesome. So you said the hardest part was the menu system. What was hard about it?
It kept like when I opened it, it would be off to the side, like off the page, kind of. That was just moving it around, like figuring that out. And the JavaScript was a bit tough, but ultimately I was able to get it. So
yeah, you did. Awesome, man. Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts. Time is up. Guys, give it up for Kevin. Awesome work, Kevin. Thank you for sharing your website with us and your thoughts. I really appreciate the thoughts behind it because I think all of us kind of struggle in our own thoughts. And I think it's good for us and therapeutic for us to hear each other. Okay, Michelle. Where are you? Paredes, there you are.
Yeah, before Michelle starts, just to kind of add to that, everybody, think about it this way. If I had given you this project 5 weeks ago, how many of you actually think you would have been able to complete it? Like from start to finish, MVP. I guarantee you it's probably less than 75% of you feel like you would have been able to complete this.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
I would even say it's probably higher. So just keep that in mind, guys. A lot of this is about perspective. Like, we have done this in 5 weeks. You guys have come so far in 5 weeks and learned so much. So be proud of what you're doing. Even if you didn't complete it, be proud, because 5 weeks ago you couldn't have even, like, you wouldn't have even known where to start. And now, you know, you guys are building full pages and, you know, full websites, multi-page websites in some cases. So be super stoked about what you're doing. I think everybody has done a great
Yeah, stop apologizing for
Yeah.
these awesome MVPs because this is so cool. All right, Michelle, you are unmuted. You can take.
Okay. Well, before I start, I just wanna give a little background. I'm not as good as everybody else that went before me. This is my first stab at everything. I have been every week since we started. I always don't finish the project. I stay up until 10 in the evening PST. 11 is my cutoff, and I need to sleep. But I make sure that I finish the project. And I can't believe how much I was able to do. I even got to the sprint. So I just, for whoever else out there is struggling, I just want you to know that it's possible. And here I am going to share my screen. Do I have the right screen?
Yeah, looks good.
Do you see my screen? Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is the, and like maybe 5 presentations before me, my screen flickered and a bunch of my code got deleted. So I tried to fix it. So I'm hoping this looks okay. Anyway, so here's my homepage, pretty standard. And got that to work. And those services, same. It does what it needs to do. I've never made a form before this, by the way. I was like, what the hell is that? So yeah, it was nerve-wracking. I guess, yeah, I'll go to the mobiles after. I was able to get to the contact page. These were different. I don't know how I found them, but I stumbled on them. I just Googled input types for forms on HTML, and it worked. These, I have not figured out how to get these just plain white inside. I think they're pretty difficult, but I'm going to get to them later. What else?
They are difficult, just so you know.
I've been doing some research, and they seem crazy. So we'll get there.
Yeah, this is awesome. What was the hardest part? Oh, there's mobile. There's
no.
mobile right there.
Oh no.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. There's mobile. Sorry about this. It was right before, and the hamburger was there. I don't know what happened. I lost my codes for some reason. But it did line up, I promise.
I believe you. Don't worry about that.
I think I hopefully Charlotta can help me revert to my last save on GitHub, so I don't have to figure it out on my own. But yeah.
Awesome. Time is up. Thank you. I really appreciated the beginning comments you made, and coupled with what Nate was saying. Man, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing your experience, Michelle. I appreciate it personally.
I was telling Josh, I'm not a blue whale yet, but I think I'm an orca now.
That's right. She can get in that ocean. Let's go.
Right.
That's awesome. All right, guys, give it up for Michelle. Okay, Alejandro, you're next.
Hey all, great job on all the projects. It was definitely tough to get everything working. So here is my project. So the first thing is I made the navbar full screen so that it extends as long as it goes, because I just thought it looked better. but I kept the content of it all in a div at 800 pixels. And then I had to also do another div here to contain the nav bar where it's supposed to go, so it doesn't like spread to the entirety of the screen. On the home page, I added some like shadows to the buttons just because I thought it looked good. I didn't do much animation because I'm still having trouble getting animations to work, but the design looks as it's expected. But had fun with like the character spacing and all that. And then the footer, which I also made so that it goes like 100% of the screen. Then the services page, I had a difficult time adding the tab component. I try to do it without using any of the previous code, just to like make sure that I'm able to do it on my own. So you click on it, and then you have the different content and the image. I did this, all the images, I did them with a background image, and because I thought that was the best way to like manipulate it and change the image for either this component or just from mobile to desktop. And then for contact, I have the contact page here. Flexbox here is pretty helpful in just like dividing the sections and then making this a column with the submit button. Once you submit, I have like an alert that lets you know that we will look at it at some point in the future, whatever you submitted. And then the mobile view, I changed the images, make any of the required changes so that it has the mobile.
Awesome. Time is up. Alejandro, this looks awesome. I love the thought process behind it. Very well done. Everybody give it up for Alejandro. This is super cool, man. I mean, I'm impressed. Very good job.
Thanks, all.
Great job. Okay, we have two more. Adam Reed, you are up next. Unmute you.
Okay, let me pull this up. All right, so you guys see the screen here?
Yep, you're good to go. Starting your timer.
So we'll start at the home page. We'll go kind of top to bottom. So I got like a few little hover animations on these guys. This guy pops down from the top, then pops back up when you close it. Everything here is pretty standard. I use JavaScript to move these things from right to left. So you can kind of see here, I think. Yeah, so basically it's just like a shift so that every other one that you put in, so long as you use the right data tab conventions, will alternate it to either side. And then one of the kind of tricky things that I decided to implement, I know that you can use background images in CSS to like change these on resize, but I decided to do it with JavaScript because I wanted to see how I could use a class constructor to swap these image sources for their mobile versions. So I just basically implemented this class called image swap that pulls all your images in, and like you have to be careful with your naming conventions because it's going off of your data tabs and your file names. And any image that you don't want to have a mobile version for, like for instance the hamburger at the top, you just give it a data tab of exclude, and so it doesn't get accounted for any of that. So JavaScript is live swapping the image sources on all the images on this page and all the images on the services page. On the services page, I use a little bit of TweenMax to give a kind of scale zoom for whatever it is that you're looking at currently, and to sort of fade in for the currently selected tab. Contact's pretty standard, just kind of fits the description, pretty boilerplate. Then on the projects page, I built a carousel that has some text overlay with titles. And I didn't quite get to the next step. I wanted to learn more to bring up like a modal menu with a bit more descriptions. But I'm sure that's something I can just refactor in later. And so this thing wraps around. We've got a few custom images that I took in there and put those in there.
All right, time is up. I know you have so many features. Adam, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do a JavaScript class image swapper before in all my time here. So
it was tricky, yeah. But
that's pretty cool, man. I mean, you were definitely trying to find reasons to use JavaScript. I want to point that out to everybody. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask Josh, do you feel like that would decrease runtime though? Do you feel like that's less efficient to do it that way?
It is, but
I mean, it's super cool. Don't get me
that's
wrong.
the thing is like the only reason that I would even say anything is because I don't want people to think, oh, this is just awesome Atom thinking patterns that we're going to see on display here. And I'm going, I've never even thought of that. So I think that's freaking awesome. And it could be really cool if we had like a CMS attached to it, like WordPress or something, and it pulled images automatically. In that way, it would be
yeah, dude, I can see that being really cool.
So, just wow, Adam, that's awesome. Everybody, give it up for Adam. I can already see you guys like totally floored in the channel. Thank you, Adam, for showing us. All right, Emily, last but certainly not least. Emily McClanahan.
Yeah, you said it right, but I wasn't volunteering.
Oh, am I the wrong Emily?
No, I'm the only one.
Let's see.
You had volunteered and then you didn't volunteer, Emily, so he got confused. It's okay.
I know. I'm back and forth on it.
Oh, you're back on the non-volunteer train. Okay, you know what? That's fine. Don't worry about it. We're over time anyway. So thank you. Okay, guys. So final thoughts here. Man, I've never seen some of the ideas that I've seen today. Like among the whole cohort, it was awesome. Honestly, it's just a testament to your skills and your time that you've put into this. I want to make sure that you remove some vocabulary stuff like I just did the standard thing here. There are literally billions of people that can't do what you just did. So just keep that in mind. I'm not exaggerating when I say billions. Like there's that many people that we can look at in the world, and you are a handful of people that have taken on this challenge of learning how to program the internet. And in this case, in our little world right here, user interface development. So I hope that you feel empowered by what you've done. Even if you weren't one of the people that showcase their stuff, remember, we're now going to break off, take a 5-minute break, and then we're going to break off into our teams. And you're going to do the same kind of thing that we just did. And you're going to showcase what you did. So each of you have an opportunity to showcase just to your individual group. So it's not as intense as this, but the same kind of process that we just did, I want you to do inside of your groups so that you can all see the progress. Now, let's say you barely got the homepage done. Let's say you had the homepage and it blew up on you today. I still want you to talk about your experience for a couple minutes and talk about the things that you learned. Everybody has something of value to add, on whether it's I learned that I need to do this better, or this framework, or whatever it is. So I appreciate the time and effort that you've put into this. I can see it. It's amazing. I appreciate it. I'll be putting this video up. Actually, Nate will be putting this video up on YouTube so we can review it later and you can look at what your peers did. But guys, one last thing before I leave you, because this is my last time. Your project managers have been amazing. Your project managers and your section lead have taken care of you to the nth degree. Now, maybe some of you might have not felt that way when things have been really stressful and they were helping somebody else, but I can tell you from the conversations that I've had with them, every morning we check in, every morning I talk to them about each of you, and I can tell you how much they care about you and how much they want you to succeed. So thank you to your project managers and your section leads for making all of this even a reality, because I literally don't have enough time for this many people. It's physically impossible. And so our project managers come in and they save the day. So hats off to your project managers. Okay, guys. Thank you.
I just have one more thing, Josh, that I'd like to add, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
I just wanted you guys to know, so I've been through a couple of these demos now. I went through the CS12 demo. I went through my own demo back when I was a student. And this is by far the most impressive demo and the most impressive cohort. As a group, you guys have really done an absolutely phenomenal job this week. We were talking about it this morning. I don't think we've ever had this kind of success rate across the project in terms of just so many of you absolutely knocked it out of the park. And that's really a testament to you guys. Continue to put in the work and you will get to where you want to be. I can't say it enough. This program will set you up for success, but you have to put in the time and the effort. And if you don't put in the time and the effort, you get nothing out of it. But you guys are doing such a great job. Keep putting in the time, keep putting in the effort, and you will 100% get to where you want to go.
So on those coattails with this excitement, go into your group. And then tomorrow's off, guys. You have Friday off. You earned it. So in your day off, if you just feel like your brain is mush, take that time off. If you feel like you can handle more, go start looking at the React objective videos that have been published in the training kit. Okay, guys, have a good weekend, and make sure you go hit up your team meeting after this. I will see you when I see you. Later.